Are delighted to have guests with us today for this special community program here on Channel 10, and also it will be heard on the radio. We're televising, taping this TV broadcast, but we'll also be playing this on radio for you to hear about something exciting that's going on in our community, and we like exciting things. And want to introduce our special guest to, first of all, to my far right and to your left as you're looking at the television is Michelle Nance. And we're going to talk a little bit about Michelle and what she's doing. And in the middle, right beside me, Ronnie Dunavant. I've known Ronnie my whole entire life. And we're glad to have you both
Thank you, sir.
out here today at the radio and TV station. And we're
glad to be
thrilled.
here.
Well, there's something exciting going on. When you say these letters, EKG, I think about going to my doctor and getting my physical and him putting me on the table and hooking me up. But EKG for both of you can mean something entirely different, can it?
Absolutely.
What else could it mean?
We recently were able to get a curriculum called Educating Kids About Gun Violence.
Okay.
And we are now in the process of taking this curriculum to all 7th and 9th graders in the Person County school system. It's a process of showing a 30-minute video that has been designed to allow children to put themselves in position of the movie characters. The movie follows a character as he becomes a little bit involved with gangs and ends up being involved in some gun violence. And the movie is called Decision Points,
Yeah.
and it takes the student through the idea that frequently it's not one major decision that gets us on the wrong track, but it's a series of smaller ones that lead the lead character in the movie into a place that he doesn't want to be. And so that's sort of what we're doing, and EKG stands for that for us.
Well, unfortunately, in the past several years, we've heard so much and seen so much about gun violence in schools. Man, this is really timely. Michelle, this is timely. How did this come about? How did this get started?
Back during the early spring and late summer, we attended a national gang conference that's
Okay.
hosted by North Carolina. And at that gang conference, we learned about the program. It had gotten started in Cumberland County, Fayetteville, North Carolina, and they
Okay.
were working on a grant then to carry it across the state. And right now, we're one of 6 counties that have implemented it. And we were given the opportunity, Ronnie and I, to go through the facilitators training, and so we could bring it back to our county. And when we got back here, we began to work with Dan Holloman, the school superintendent, and the Board of Education, and then we were allowed to come in and teach it to the 7th and the 9th graders.
I've been hearing about this, and I'm so glad we have an opportunity to put it out there for everybody to know. Now, it actually has already started in some of our schools, and a good number of them have already seen this movie. Hey, what's been the reaction?
Well, it's been mixed, but most of the students seem to be identifying with it. And we, after we show the movie, we give them an opportunity to write a paragraph about some of the decisions made by some of the characters and where they could have been different. And then we also have a discussion with them where they have been able to reflect with us. You know, if he hadn't gone to the party, maybe this wouldn't have happened, or sometimes it's better just to walk away. And so
Yeah.
we are getting some of them to think about the possibility of how making the small decisions could get them in a place where they don't want to be. We think it's being very well received. We
Good,
feel like
good.
that if we can, even if we can make a few people think twice about some of the decisions they make as they become gang involved or
Yes.
violence involved,
Yeah.
even if we just make a few think twice about that, we feel like it's worth it.
We have a bunch of 7th and 9th graders in Person County, don't we, Michelle?
Correct. I think the target population is about
It's a little
600,
700.
700 between both southern
Yeah.
and northern.
And
Wow,
that's
what a wonderful program. There's something special now. I want to talk about something that the students are going to be receiving,
Right.
And you have one of these on your arm right now. It's the coolest thing. Just before we went on camera, Ronnie was showing me some of the advantages of this
Well,
little bracelet.
And if I
It's
remember,
more than a bracelet.
It
though.
is. You saw me at a restaurant one time and
Uh-huh.
asked me if I had a fit watch, and I
That's
was able
exactly
to,
right.
to tell you.
I remember that.
This is a bracelet, but it also is a USB drive that can be plugged into a computer, and we give this to every student who completes the course, who does the
Yeah.
little homework assignment and enters in discussion with us. It's a small 1 gig drive bracelet that they can use for their own needs, but loaded on here also is information from the National Speak Up campaign, and it gives the students a website and a toll-free number that they can call and anonymously report
Really?
what they think may be dangerous situations either in their neighborhood or in school. So if a child thinks a fellow student might have a weapon at school, he can get that website and make that report without being known. So all of that's loaded on the bracelets, and they come in Rocket, Raider, and Panther blue
How about that?
with the Person County Schools logo.
You know, I remember. I'm so glad I asked you that question because, more or less, that led to this interview and our getting together.
Exactly, you're right.
Well, so it is going on now, and it's going to continue. And the people who put this all together down in Fayetteville and the whole organization, but then you bring it back home. It takes a team to put this together. So I'm sure you probably have some people in the community working with you, or sponsors, or somebody helping out.
There are 3 groups. The school system has
All right.
was able to benefit to pay for half of the cost of the bracelets.
Okay.
And then Roots and Wings, and Michelle can tell you about that. But the other group is the JCPC, which stands for the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council.
That's a wonderful organization.
And it's made up of court system people, DSS people, juvenile justice court counselors, community leaders, faith-based people, and we come together once a month and try to decide what's the best way to spend the few small dollars that we get from the Division of Juvenile Justice in Raleigh to help, maybe teach kids to stay on the straight and narrow rather than become court involved. And that JCPC is also one of the sponsors. And so it's us, the school system, and the JCPC.
Wow. Roots and Wings, we hear a lot of good things about Roots and Wings. And just in case there's someone who's not familiar with Roots and Wings, Michelle, could you just give us a 2-minute sales pitch here? Or tell us what
Sure.
Roots and Wings is all about.
Roots and Wings is a family advocacy agency that works mainly with court-involved parents and juveniles. They are usually court-involved either in the Division of Juvenile Justice where the child's on probation, or it could be a family that is involved with the Department of Social Services. And so we work hard with these families to reunify them.
I know you do, yeah.
And so we try to help them navigate the system, because once they enter the system, it's complex and they don't understand all the barriers and appointments and what all these acronyms mean, that they begin to be thrown at them. So we work with them one-on-one to help them navigate, encourage them, try to cheerlead them on to meet the goals that they need. And as for with the kids, we also do some mentoring where we go into the alternative schools and run group sessions. The goal is for these kids not to recidivism, not to reoffend, and we also hope that we can be a positive influence for them to graduate and finish school and then go on to some kind of vocational training or education facility.
Well spoken. Well, she came right off, didn't she? And let us.
I just want to say amen.
Amen. Well, the Roots and Wings been around quite a number of years.
We got started under a federal grant called System of Care back in the about around 2001, 2002. When the grant monies ran out around 2005, we became our own private nonprofit 501c3, and so we've been at this for close to 15 years now.
My goodness. Keep up the good success. 7th and 9th graders are going to have this opportunity. Some have already. So, kind of a message to parents, or if you hear this on the radio or you see it on TV and that you see your child come home with one of these little
Yes.
blue bracelets, you kind of have an idea of what's the surprise inside, they might say.
Exactly. The kids look forward to this. We start out our first day introduction by holding this up and saying at the end of these 2 days you're going to be able to get one of these, and they come back in. Have you got my bracelet? Have you got my bracelet? So they're looking forward to it, and we enjoy being a part of it.
Wow. Well, continued success. Roots and Wings doing such a marvelous job. And this is one of the most interesting programs. And you say you heard about it originally from Fayetteville area, but it's national in scope or more regional?
It's probably more to the state of North Carolina. There
Okay.
was a program in Indiana that Fayetteville copied, and they did a movie more about gun violence actually in the school system. And Fayetteville's movie is more about gun violence at a house party. But yes, Fayetteville did. They created the program, and they are hoping that it can go across all the counties in North Carolina.
But we were one of the early ones. We're leading on this. As Michelle mentioned, there are only 6 school systems in the state right now that are doing that, and we're one of them. Fayetteville's one, Vance County, Durham County, Goldsboro school system, and down in Elizabeth City, I think Pasquotank County. And so,
Okay.
so we're pretty early in on this, and we're real excited about it.
Well, keep leading. I like leaders.
Okay.
Don't you? EKG. Just remember, you'll be hearing that some more. Your children will, 7th and 9th graders. Any final closing comments you'd like to, or any kind of pitch you want to make for Roots and Wings, or you can have this time.
Well, and I just want to thank the school system.
Okay.
Superintendent Holloman has been very receptive and very encouraging, and he, we went over the process with him, and he brought the principals in, and the SROs, the school resource officers, and so when we go in to do these classes, usually there's a school resource officer there helping us with
good.
that, and so I think they've been very helpful, and I also want to thank the JCPC for being a sponsor with this and helping to make this happen.
Well, one thing certainly, we don't want gun violence of any sort or any kind in our county or in our state or in our nation. And, things like this is just another step to help, to solve an unnecessary issue.
And we thank you for giving us a
Absolutely.
little bit of a time to tell a story.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Michelle, thank you.
Thank
She
you.
did a good job.
She usually does.
And you too, my friend.
I did all right.
Absolutely.
Thank
We
you.
thank you for your time in watching and listening on the radio. And tell your friends about it. You'll be seeing this several times. So we'll hope you'll pass the message and pass the good word and tell everybody how wonderful Roots and Wings is doing and has been doing for all these years in our county. And keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.